As bad as Onana, Amorim must drop 310. Man United, who won just 14 duels just as Ruben Amorim had thought his Manchester United team had finally turned a corner, their Jekyll and Hyde tendencies were there for all to see again in a crushing 3-1 Premier League defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion on Sunday. Indeed, as much as Red Devils supporters would have been overjoyed with their win at Arsenal in the FA Cup and with their 2-2 draw versus Liverpool in January, Amorim's topsy-turvy side were way off the pace throughout against Fabian Hürzeler's ruthless Seagulls to remind the Portuguese manager there's plenty to still fix. The former Sporting boss will surely regret keeping his faith in shot-stopper Andre Onana for this one, with the shaky 28-year-old struggling once more after conceding to basement club Southampton the match prior. Andre Onana's performance against Brighton, there were at least some redeeming qualities to his showing against the Saints, with 5 strong saves tallied up in the 3-1 win, with this performance lacking any obvious positives on the contrary. The Cameroonian didn't make a single save during this nightmare showing, as Yankuba Minte's early effort beat him despite the United goalkeeper initially getting a glove on the shot, whilst the other 2 strikes from the Seagulls saw Onana rooted to his goal line and then fumble into the path of Jorginho Rutter, who made it 3-1. With Altay Bayndre standing out in the cup when Amorim's side surprised Arsenal, as the reserve shot-stopper tallied up an impressive 6 saves across the 120-minute affair, it could be worth reinstating the Turkish goalkeeper for United's next Premier League test over the ex-Ajax star. He is unlikely to be the only casualty, with Noussair Mazraoui's head also potentially on the chopping block after a fatigued showing against a full-throttle Brighton team. Mazraoui's performance in numbers versus Brighton. Mazraoui did have a daunting task on his hands trying to keep a slick Kaoru Mitoma quiet all afternoon, but it was still a below-par showing from the Moroccan that would have worried Amorim a lot. Indeed, the early opener saw the Brighton number 22 completely beat his marker for pace after a long ball over the top, with Minte then left with a simple tap-in after Mazraoui let Mitoma lay it off to his eager teammate. All in all, it was a dreadful day at the office for the former Bayern Munich man, who was dribbled past 2 times as an easy target for the Brighton attackers to exploit, alongside only winning 1 of his 7 duels as the far brighter and switched-on visitors showed no mercy. His creative game was also way off with just 1 key pass managed, after becoming known at Ajax and at the Allianz Arena for being an expansive option out from the back. Manchester Evening News journalist Samuel Luckhurst voiced his dissatisfaction at Mazraoui's performance at the full-time whistle, with a 310 rating handed to the 27-year-old who was singled out for how much he struggled up against Mitoma. It will now be up to Amorim to attempt to get a tune out of his worst underperformers, but in the case of both Onana and Mazraoui, their first-team spots could be up for grabs now as Rangers travel to Old Trafford next in the Europa League, before a tricky away day at Craven Cottage comes into view back in the unforgiving league. Fabrizio Romano shares big update on Alejandro Garnacho. Man United exit Napoli have earmarked Manchester United star Alejandro Garnacho as their dream signing to replace Kvicha Kvaratskhelia in the January transfer window, Fabrizio Romano has exclusively told GivenSport in his newsletter. The Serie A outfit have sold the Georgian sensation to Paris Saint-Germain in a deal worth around €7 million and are now on the lookout for replacements as Antonio Conte looks to win the league title in his first year as boss. Garnacho started the season at Old Trafford as a regular under Erik ten Hag but lost his place in the side following the arrival of Ruben Amorim, with the change of system not suiting the winger's style of play. Reports emerged this week that Napoli had tabled an offer for the Argentina international, with Man United rejecting it, and GivenSport sources have revealed the Red Devils are demanding around 60 M to sell the academy graduate. Now Romano has revealed that a deal will be really difficult to complete. Napoli consider Garnacho their dream signing to replace Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, but Manchester United's price tag remains very high, so it's a really difficult deal. The only way to make it happen would be a big discount from Manchester United on the transfer fee, otherwise Napoli will target other players. While a move for Garnacho seems unlikely at this stage, with the 20-year-old starting each of the last 2 games against Arsenal and Southampton and a big gap in valuation between the teams, there are still likely to be exits at Old Trafford before the transfer window closes. Marcus Rashford seems almost certain to move on amid interest from Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan, while the club are also open to offers for the likes of Christian Eriksen and Victor Lindelof. Brazil international Casemiro also looks set to move on amid interest from Saudi Arabia, with Amorim preferring to bring on youngster Toby Collier in recent games ahead of the five-time Champions League winner, suggesting he has fallen even further down the pecking order in midfield. Man United, now winning the race to sign world-class star Manchester United, are reportedly ahead of Manchester City in the queue to sign Paris Saint-Germain left-back Nuno Mendes, according to Pete O'Rourke of Football Insider. Mendes is one of Europe's most highly regarded young fullbacks who has impressed since joining PSG from Sporting CP in July 2022. The Portuguese defender has appeared 20 times across competitions this season, registering 2 goals and as many assists. The world-class 22-year-old will have a year left on his contract in the summer, and speculation is growing over a potential Parc des Princes exit. He could head to the Premier League for a reunion with his former Sporting boss, Ruben Amorim. Manchester United are reportedly considered favourites to sign Mendes and are confident a deal will be sorted. A move this month is unlikely, and the two Manchester rivals are expected to battle it out for his signature in the summer. PSG don't want to lose a key player halfway through the season. There have been suggestions in the French media that Mendes has made a U-turn over his decision to leave the Ligue 1 giants. Luis Enrique is said to have convinced the 33-cap Portugal international to stay put and sign a new contract. Mendes won't need to rush to a decision over his future because he's still got over a year to run on his current deal. He could be intrigued by a move to the Premier League and link up with Amorim at United. The Red Devils are in dire need of a new left wing-back amid several issues they have experienced in the position. Luke Shaw has dealt with recurring fitness problems, while Tyrell Malacia has been unconvincing on his return to action after a year out. Manchester City are undergoing a rebuild amid a shocking fall from grace this season. Josko Gvardiol has been used as a makeshift left-back, but the Croatian is a centre-back by trade, as is the case for Nathan Ake and Manuel Akanji.